Good deal.
Excellent. Well, Tabor, thank you so much for doing this. And even after a little technical difficulties, finally got it
No
working.
problem. No
Yeah.
problem.
Well, I'm so happy to be talking with you today. It's I've been looking forward to these testimonials. I'm doing them because I finally got a business coach, and he's like, you need to be doing testimonials and other things with the website and Google search engine optimization and all these other things. And I thought, oh, that just sounded overwhelming, but I've been having a blast doing it. I mean, he's looking at my stuff. He's going, you got enough content. Keep doing more content, but you need to reach out and talk to these members and get to know them. And it's been a blast doing it. I should have done it earlier.
You bet.
So,
You bet.
how long have you been with my lessons? Curious.
Oh, it's got to be 5, 6, 7 years, something like that.
Okay, that's great. That's wonderful. I mean, for a business model, that's wonderful for you to be with me that long. I've been surprised hearing all this. I figured people, were staying a year, maybe. I was hoping that, and then they were going. But a lot of people are, 10 years, 15 years. And there's a guy I'm
Nice.
going to talk to next week that's been with me for all 18 years, and I
Oh,
remember his
wow.
name. Yeah.
Awesome.
So it's incredible. What is the staying power? What is the reason, the formula for you guys hanging around for so long?
Well, I had joined the lifetime membership back in the beginning, and it was a heck of an offer. And I love the way that your videos are and how you approach it, and the whiteboards, and it makes everything so simple to learn, and you don't rush it or anything like that. So it's been really nice to do that.
Yeah. So Tabor, when you growing up, did you take traditional piano lessons? Did you tinker around with piano? Did you play guitar? How was your upbringing with music?
My parents had my sister and I both took piano lessons. I probably took for 10 years or
Okay.
so, and then just walked away from it. So it always was in my blood, I guess you could say. But yeah,
Okay.
for about 10 years.
That's quite a while to take lessons. So were you a pretty good note reader, you feel like?
In the beginning, I could do it, but I've lost so much over the years,
Uh-huh.
and then I started picking it back up again. I don't know if you remember the email that we had conversed back and forth on, and I played a little bit in the band, and then we kind of disbanded. So then I just kind of dropped it again. So
Yeah.
it's been 3, 4 years since I've actually touched the piano. It's set up, but I just
Yeah.
haven't done it. And
Not
every
lately,
time
you're
I
talking
I
about
go
right now.
back to it,
Uh-huh.
I can do a little bit, but it's like, how did that go again? Or how that's right. Okay. So I pick it, it's kind of like riding a bike.
Yes, it is. So you're talking about right now. You haven't touched it in a while.
It's been
Yeah.
quite a while for me since
Yeah.
I've sat down. Like I said, it's set up, but I just
And I
haven't
have
sat down.
yeah, I have to tell you, Tabor, a lot of us have those times where we can't play for a while, and even I do. And then you feel like, oh, I don't want to realize all that I've forgotten, all that I've lost. And so it's kind of like that first step, getting back to it. So I'd recommend, like you said, it is still in there. Like you said, it's like riding a
Mhm.
bike. It is still in there, and it'll all come flooding back if you did it earlier. Find some stuff that you've already done that's pretty easy. Kind of just give yourself some confidence again. But it always is. Amazes people how much they do remember once they get into it. It's like kind of like that first step of just sitting down to do it. And I'm
You
glad you have
bet.
it sitting out where you can play. So I would. I mean, it sounds like music's been a part of your life, your whole life. So I'd say get back into it, man.
You bet. You bet. We're going to someday. We're going to.
Yeah, and so you can read music if you had to. You don't feel like you're great at it, but you can read music. You went through that course like as I did. I did the method books and everything like everybody does. Did you have any trouble with that style with learning to read music? Did you feel like you wanted to just play by ear, or did you feel like you wanted to do a different way? Where was the songs in the book like not what you really wanted to play?
It seemed like I needed to look at it to read it. I guess I couldn't do it so much. Sometimes by hearing it, I
Okay,
can get close, but I know I'm
sure,
off. But I know I'm close.
yeah,
But it seemed like I needed to have the lessons and look at it and have somebody just kind of guide me along.
sure. So maybe you went through what happens to a lot of people, and you might be in this boat too. You probably have a pretty good ear. Now you probably humble and say, "No, I don't really," but I bet you do have a better ear than most people. And what happens
Somewhat.
is when you're reading, when they're teaching you the sight reading, the teachers will think you're reading, but you're really memorizing. and playing by ear. You play it a couple of times and you have it memorized. So you're not reading the music anymore, though you're staring at it. And so then you go to the next song, and the teacher thinks you're actually learning to read, and you're really not because your ear is pretty good. And so the ear
You're
gets better and
exact.
better. And then you get to this place where your playing level gets so far more advanced than your reading level that it starts to fall apart. Then we start to get frustrated because the music gets too hard to read on the spot, and it's too much to try to memorize if you're getting to more complicated things. And so that's what usually happens to people. And it's the teachers don't realize that, and then people will come to my site maybe a little later in life, and they're like, "Oh, this makes sense to me because I know what the names of the notes are. I always knew what the names of the notes were. I just couldn't get
Right.
past that stinking having to read the the music that was so pushing me down and
Exactly.
keep me from doing it." So that's kind of why I invented this. It's for all you guys who want to play the wonderful music. And you were in a band, so you played. You mean you can't be in a band and not play at a certain level. So tell me about your band that you're in.
Well, it was basically just a garage band. Started off in a basement. It was
Sure.
nothing major. It was just a bunch. Some of the guys were just picking up instruments for the first time.
Yeah.
So I came to the group with a little more uh, uh, a background in it, if you
Okay.
will, but
Uh-huh.
not. It was one of those things where it was like, well, you played, and it's like, oh, yeah, it was like years ago that I played. So I was
Yeah.
trying to pick it up at the same time as they were.
Okay.
And then it wasn't anything major. Played a couple shows for family and friends or
Yeah.
something, but that, I mean, I call it a band, but I guess it was kind of like a
No, it's a
basement thing.
band. No, don't put it down. It's a band. I mean, you're playing. We all start out in garage bands. I mean, me and my son are doing that right now. We're going to start gigging around in Waco, and we're pretty much what you'd call a garage band. He's amazing on guitar though. He's better on guitar at his age, 19, than I was on piano at my age. But I'm doing it for him because he wants to get out and start playing, and
That's awesome.
I want him to do it. So we're a garage band. So I love all these garage bands. I think they're fantastic.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you had guitar stuff on your website at one time, didn't you, or still do?
I still do, yeah, and I'm a piano player who also plays guitar,
Okay.
and some people are guitar players who play piano also, and I'm always going to be a piano player first. But yeah, I had some guitar lessons on there, and I taught him a little bit what I knew, and then he just took off. Now he's
Oh, that's awesome.
leagues above me, but we're playing together. We're having fun. My wife sings; she can sing, Linda Ronstadt, and I'll. She can sing, those classic rock songs where the guy sings so high. Well,
Yeah.
that's in a pretty good range for your average girl, And so
Hmm.
she can sing the, Led Zeppelin and all that stuff all day, and it's kind of fun to play
That.
those with her.
Oh,
Anyway,
nice.
so Tabor, if you're gonna what were some of the things when you were playing at your height, at the stuff on my website, what were you playing at those times? What are you most proud of that you were playing?
Uh, oh, you're talking back when I took lessons. It seemed like I played. It was a variety of stuff. I mean, it was just there was Christmas music that I could play. There was
Uh-huh.
some boogie stuff that I played.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like I always wanted to get into the more advanced stuff that I
Okay.
shouldn't have been trying to play. And
Yeah.
then that's where it kind of ended for me, it seemed like. For some reason, we quit. And
Yeah.
I don't know why, but yeah, I mean, it got to where I could read the basic stuff, and I
Yeah.
could play Christmas stuff, like I said. Nothing like what you do when you go off and it's just I get lost when I watch them
Yeah.
videos. So, but basic stuff,
Sure. So what
nothing
would
fancy, nothing
if
like
you
Led
were
Zeppelin.
well, let's say if you had time to get back into it and you now I bet you do. I bet you want to go play again at some point. What would be like the ultimate song for you to learn on one of the ones on my website? If there's one on there that you go, man, I really want to play that. That'd be awesome.
I had you transcribe for me
Uh-huh.
Genesis, Follow You, Follow
Oh
Me.
yeah. Okay, that's
And
right.
I
That's
still
right.
can't play that. I mean, I get lost in it
Uh-huh.
when I'm doing it, but that's one I've always wanted to figure out how
Yeah.
to play. I just love the way that sounds on piano.
Yeah. Did I offer any simpler ways to do it in that lesson
Just
series?
it was just the one lesson. I think it's still on your site there.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
remember doing it.
yeah, yeah. So I would love to learn how to play that one. I mean, I'll pick up YouTube videos and listen to other people play it, and it just
Yeah.
sounds beautiful.
It is. It's a
So,
beautiful song. He wrote some great songs. Yeah. So I want to get to these questions here before I run out of time because Zoom, I just have
okay.
the free version and they'll cut me off after a little while. Uh, but do you like the the tablature system that I use instead of the notes? Does that work for you? Is that click for you? Was that kind of hard to get used to at first, or did you immediately go, man, this is what I need?
I'm a little confused on tablet. What
Oh,
is that
the
now?
you know how I write the letters on the board, the whiteboard thing,
Oh,
instead of
yeah, yeah, I do like that. I do like that. Yes, yes.
so that
I'm a little
was
confused there. Sorry about
okay.
that. But yeah, that makes it simpler to understand what you're trying to do,
Yeah, so it worked.
for me.
Okay, yeah, and that's there's a lot of people that are in that boat. I was a terrible sight reader too, so I know what it's like. Now I'm better than most people because I went all the way in classical music, so you have to you're
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
forced to. But I wouldn't say that my sight reading is as good as my playing level, not even close. I think it'll always be that way. I think I'll always be one of those who had just had trouble reading music. It's never going to be as easy for me as it might be some of my peers at that whatever level I'm
Right.
at. And so I know what it's like, and I know what how the struggle can be there.
You
So
you really pick it up by sound a lot. I mean, you
yeah,
can hear it and just play it. Like
I
Follow You,
can.
Follow Me. I mean, you just kind of went right to it. So
I
I've
can't.
noticed that.
Was I pretty accurate on that? What do you think?
I think so. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'll tell you, Tabor, why that's easy for me is because I have this gift, the Lord gave me when I was born. I just can hear anything I hear. I know what the notes are. I don't even got to go figure it out. I just know what they are, and that's nothing I worked for to get. It's just I've always had it. I can't explain how I know. It's just pops in my mind. I can't not do it. That's why sometimes the kid, if I'm after a long day of working on music, get in the car and the kids want to put on the radio, and I go, guys, I gotta give my brain a rest because my brain
Right.
will keep trying to figure out
It
everything that
keeps
I
wanting to
hear.
do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
understand.
that's what allows me to do all of that. So
That's awesome though. That's a great gift.
yes, it is. It's wonderful. It's also a little frustrating too because I can't use the transpose button on my keyboard if I don't want to play in the key of C sharp or something. And most people just hit the transpose button and they'll play it whatever key they want to. But I can't play in a different key than I'm hearing come out of the
Right.
piano.
Right, right.
So, and there's other things that are a nuisance about it, but overall, it's been a great thing. And I've always tried to give you guys like accurate ranges. Like when I did a request, I don't know how many I've done for you, but I know I've done that one, the I'll Follow You Genesis song. But I always try to get as close as I can, humanly possible, to what you asked me to do. If it's a cover of someone else playing it, if it's an album version, if it's a live version, I try to give you,
Right.
just what you guys want because you
I've
you hear
noticed
that and you
that.
like
Yes.
it, and I want you to play it the way you're hearing it. Do you notice that, and do you care that I do that?
Oh, yeah, I think that's perfect. Yeah, whether it's a live version or something or studio version, I've noticed that's the way that you do that. I think that's awesome. That's a great way to do it.
Yeah, and I will also, let's say somebody wants to play a piano part in a song, and the piano part's cool, but the band's going, and if I just put the piano part on there and nothing else, it's going to be a little lame. It's going to be a little lacking because the piano
Right.
player is staying out of the way. They got a guitar strumming, you got a drums, you got bass. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll pull from the other instruments in the band while
Yes.
maintaining the integrity of the original piano part, so that it sounds like the album
Right.
or the song. Do you notice that? Is that something you like as well?
I have, and the song escapes me right now, but there's another one that we were trying to do in that little band that I was in,
Uh huh.
and I wish I could remember the doggone name of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. But
Uh
you
huh.
did the piano and you did another instrument in there, and I can't remember what it was. And you had that in there to where if you want to add this in, you can, but otherwise you don't have to add it in. And I
Yeah.
thought that was awesome that you did that in that instance.
Yeah. So that's something too that I'll kind of pianoize, I call it, when to put the other instrument in. So you have something that sounds like the album because that's why we want to play. We want to sound like the thing we're listening to. So most of my arrangements don't have melody in the right hand. Some of them do, and some people want that once in a while. But most of the time, it's authentic, the whatever's being played in the song. Um, yeah. So, what's your favorite music to listen to? What are you into? You're like Elton John, Billy Joel, Leonard Skinner, CCR. What would you listen to when you listen to what you want to hear?
The little band we were in, they played a lot of CCR,
Okay.
which would never really was my favorite. Rush was always my favorite
Rush.
band.
Oh yeah.
I grew up with Rush back in the 70s. So
Yes.
they were always my favorite. And I was just discussing this with my mom today. It's kind of weird that I've shifted my music into Christian
Uh-huh.
music. I'm listening to a lot of Christian radio lately.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's some of the music is so beautiful that it's like, I wonder what that would sound like on piano. I keep
Oh
thinking
yeah.
that, you know, but
Tabor,
it was always rock and roll growing up.
yes. And I would love, I wish more people would request the, Christian praise and worship songs and all of that. Not many do, so I get them once in a while, but I would love to have a lot of that on the website too. And I'm kind of with you. I still like rock. I grew up with rock, and I love the rock and roll.
Mhm.
And I tell you the thing about Rush, we had me and my son work out here in this same room. I mean, you see the studio here, but if I turn the camera around, it'll just be a messy room like anybody else's house. But we have workout equipment, we have a treadmill, we have a bicycle and weights, and we put on Rush and we crank up the speaker and we work out, just boom, it's just so loud. But
There you
it
go.
really pumps
There's
me
something
up,
about
so
it.
like nothing else. I mean, Neil Peart just tearing it up on the drums, and it's a
Exactly.
blast.
Exactly.
It's
You know
fun.
what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. So I like both. I like worship, to worship
Hmm.
God and praise Jesus with Christian worship music. Then I
Good
I I,
stuff.
I think rock and roll is fun too. I mean, it's like you can't just because the band members may have lived a certain way doesn't mean everything they touched is awful. Music, God made music, and He made rock and roll
Exactly.
music. He made blues music,
Exactly. That's
and
right.
there's I got to draw a line in the sand on some things. I'm not gonna, there's some things that are so dark I'm not even gonna go near. But
Right.
but Rush and Van Halen we listen to too. So we love all that.
Oh yeah.
So, but
Same. Yep.
I
Same
just wanted
stuff.
to mention that because Rush is one of our favorites too. It's our workout band. Well, let me get
I've
to these
looked on your
questions.
website for some Rush. I didn't find any, but I was like, well, maybe someday I'll request something.
Yes, and I wish so. It's all up to the members. Everything on in the library. There's a lot there. There's like close
Yes.
to 2,000 songs and 10,000 video lessons
And
with those
the
songs.
lessons too. Yeah, that's the other big thing.
And just with the, you know, all the members request. So if nobody requests it, then it doesn't go on there, and I have to do it as a request because that supplements my income. I can't spend time on
Right.
it if I'm not. So I hope someone comes along. It's like wants all this Rush someday. So I hope that happens.
There's
Uh,
somebody out there.
yeah. So let me get to these questions here. And it might feel repetitive. So if you wouldn't mind just answering them again, however you want to. What is your name and where are you from?
Tabor Miller, and I'm from Omaha, Nebraska.
Wonderful. How did you originally hear about my lessons?
I just happened to come across it, I think, on a Google search.
Yeah, probably YouTube. That's what everybody else says.
That could have been, it could have, like I said, it's been quite a while ago, but yeah, Google, YouTube,
Yeah.
just looking for songs, things we
Okay.
were playing.
A particular song. That's good to know. What did you like most about learning from my method?
It was so simple and easy to follow. I mean, you articulated it really well, showing the whiteboard and how to play and the tablatures, and it just everything was really easy.
Wonderful. What makes my method different from other online piano lessons?
Yours is the only one I've really looked at, so I can't really
Okay.
answer that question.
That is funny, Tabor, because I'll hear people say that they're like, I don't know. Once they land on my stuff, that's all they do. That's all. If they want anything, that's where they go.
That's
So
exactly right.
that's good for me, I guess. All right.
Yes, it is.
Um, on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with my lessons?
Oh, 10. I mean, I joined Lifetime, so 10.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate the 10. And I'm going to give myself a 9 point something because I think there's always room for improvement. And I'm still trying to get better with how I teach and my arrangements. And I hear some suggestions of people that they want the website to be more this way, and so make it more user friendly. One person
Understandable.
mentioned they wanted a category that listed all the newest stuff in order, and I thought that's a great idea. Now I got to pay my web developer to set that up for
Move
me
around.
because every change you make, you got to pay for on these websites.
Exactly.
but there's things I wanted to make even better. So, but thank you for the 10. Would you recommend my lessons to a family member or a friend? And if so, why?
Just for the reasons, like I said, and exactly I would. I mean, it's so easy to follow along and to find stuff. It worked well for me to pick up on things that I needed to learn on.
All right.
So definitely, I would recommend.
All right. Is there anything I can do for you today? Any questions you have for me? Because sometimes people have questions for me, and they don't even have to be about music. If you have wondered anything at all, now's the time to ask it.
Just very appreciative that you reached out and wanted to see some of the members out there and stuff like that. That shows, your, integrity and stuff towards what you do and stuff. So, I mean, I appreciate that.
Thank you, Tabor. And my want here for you is I would love to you get back into playing because I can tell you had a good time with the band.
Hmm.
Because you keep mentioning it, and I hope there's some way you can get that going again, start playing again. And the one little thing I can give you is that it's never as hard as you think it's going to be. You think, oh, it's going to be a struggle. We're going to blah, blah, blah. And then it never turns out to be that bad. If you've already played, it'll come back to you, and it's so
You're
fun.
right.
And I would encourage you to get back into it. I mean, you're already a lifetime member. I already got you, so that's not what I'm worried about. Continuing memberships or whatever. I would love to see you continue to play and get back in that band and start playing again with guys and going to places and playing
It's
for other
coming.
people.
It's
Yeah,
getting closer. I rearranged the room that the keyboard is in, and I set it up in a different spot. So it's
excellent.
like this might work better. So it's coming.
Where'd you put it?
It's just in a spare room in my house that I had. One of my sons moved out. Well, they both did. But anyhow, I used their room as kind of that room for that. So,
Excellent. That's so important that you put your instrument in a place where you're not going to bother other people. It's your own little space. It's all
yep,
yours. That makes it so much easier. It seems like
it
not an important thing, but it really is.
it
Um,
is. Yes.
and if there's anything I can help you with, let's say you're trying to learn a song for the band and you get a little stuck, feel free to ask me to do a Zoom call. I can see you play. Can I get you unstuck? Or some people have been sending me little audio files of working on stuff, and they're like,
Oh,
I can't seem to get. And then I'm usually able, even with an audio file, to give them a little something because I can kind of tell what's
you
going
bet.
on. I've taught 50 students a week for 20 years, so I know a little something about what can happen with
Yes, you do.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
you bet.
And
Okay, good.
I'm here personally to help you whenever you need. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Tabor. So I'm going to get cut off here by Zoom, but it was very nice to meet you, and I'll talk to you later.
Nice meeting you, Shawn. Thank you. Have a
See you.
great day.
Uh-huh.